What's up, guys? Sports teams are always intrigued by the idea of free agency, since it's the quick and sometimes easy fix for mistakes. Why spend a draft pick at a certain position? Why trade away key players and draft picks? Why not just throw money at a free agent? You don't lose anything in return. You give him the cash and hope for the best. But over the last few years, a handful of lucrative and expensive free agents simply haven't panned out. Surely the teams that handed out such deals are wishing they got the extended warranty. But that's not how it works. Sorry. I'm Jason Biondo, and today we present 10 recent free agent signings that already look like mistakes. Don't forget to subscribe to TPS and put on your notifications because we post videos every single day. Every day is a new video. Gotta subscribe, yo. That was awful, but yeah, just go subscribe. Oh, and by the way, the time frame we're working from here is between the years 2016 and 2018. Number 10, Loui Eriksson. The Vancouver Canucks should be entering rebuild mode after a dismal 2015-16 season. Instead, they decided to stay aggressive in free agency, signing two-way stud Loui Eriksson to a 6-year contract worth $36 million. It was definitely a risk giving that much money and term to a player in his 30s. Eriksson was a 6-time 20-goal scorer, so the Canucks thought it was worth the risk. Well, general manager Jim Benning surely regrets this one. Eriksson hasn't been able to stay healthy in Vancouver, missing significant time in 2016-17 and 2017-18. Over those 2 years, Eriksson totaled just 21 goals and 47 points. So the rebuilding Canucks are stuck with this contract for the long run, unless they can magically find a way to get rid of it. Nothing ever made sense about this contract signing, and the Canucks have learned it the hard way. Number 9, Pierre Garcon. After notching 79 catches for 1,041 yards with the Washington Redskins in 2016, Pierre Garcon became one of the most sought-after free agents in 2017. The San Francisco 49ers gave Garcon a 5-year contract worth $47.5 million, even though they didn't have a suitable quarterback to throw the ball to him. Neck and knee injuries forced Garcon to play just a total of 16 games through his first 2 years with the 49ers. Over that span, he totaled 64 receptions for a mere 786 yards and 1 touchdown. The 49ers haven't exactly gotten their money's worth on Garcon, but given the terrible QB situation they were in at the time, it's no surprise that the Garcon signing has been such a disappointment. Number 8, Mark Melancon. The San Francisco Giants' awful bullpen cost them in the 2016 NLDS against the Chicago Cubs, and the front office was desperate to do something about it. So they handed veteran reliever Mark Melancon a 4-year, $62 million contract, believing he would help shore up their prime weakness. Well, Melancon hasn't come as advertised, and the Giants wound up enduring 2 straight terrible seasons after signing him. The window has closed, and they're stuck with an overpaid past his prime reliever. Melancon posted a mere 3.78 ERA over his first 2 years in San Fran. That doesn't seem horrible at first, but an ERA of almost 4 is quite poor for a reliever. His strikeouts per 9 innings haven't been very inspiring either. Now, Melancon isn't awful by any means, but he should be making about a quarter of the salary the Giants are paying him. Oh well, at least those 3 World Series championship banners from the past decades are still hanging at AT&T Park. Number 7, Tremaine Johnson. The New York Jets were undergoing a youth movement and roster overhaul during the 2018 offseason. Well, sort of. New York had bundles of cap space, so they decided to sign a handful of veterans to patch up the roster holes. Their most lucrative signing was veteran cornerback Tremaine Johnson, who landed a whopping 5-year deal worth $72.5 million. That's a lot of money for a guy who has never been named to a Pro Bowl, and the Jets learned that in 2018. Johnson was benched for New York's Week 17 game for apparently sleeping in. He received an okay grade of 74.8 from Pro Football Focus for the 2018 season. Not too bad, but certainly not worthy of $72.5 million. The Jets would probably love to wash their hands of Johnson's contract, but there's no easy out. They'll have to hope that he'll turn a corner in 2019 and 2020. If not, he'll go down as one of the absolute worst free agent signings in NFL history. And of course, it's on my team. Cheers. Number 6, Darvish. It was believed by many that Darvish hurt his free agency value after an awful display in the 2017 World Series for the Los Angeles Dodgers. But the high-spending Chicago Cubs didn't seem the slightest bit worried about it, and they handed Darvish a whopping 6-year contract worth $126 million. Wow. The Cubs seemingly signed Darvish to replace former Cy Young winner Jake Arrieta, who was signed for 3 years at just $75 million by the Philadelphia Phillies. That's probably the route the Cubs should have taken. opinion. Darvish's first season with the Cubs was a major disappointment. He went 1-3 as a starter and posted a terrible 4.95 ERA in 8 starts. Problems in Darvish's right throwing elbow ended his season, and the Cubs are probably regretting this already. I mean, like, nothing against Darvish, but this is now an injury-prone pitcher in his mid-30s with little postseason success. There's a high chance that Chicago doesn't get much out of a $126 million investment. Number 5, Evan Turner. The 6'7" guard has a couple of decent seasons with the Boston Celtics, averaging around 10 points and 5 rebounds per game in his 2 years there. Still, Evan Turner wasn't worth a 4-year, $70 million contract, but that's what the Portland Trail Blazers gave him in the 2016 offseason. Turner's stats haven't dipped nor improved much since coming to Portland, but predictably so, he didn't ramp his game up to the point of being worth $70 million. I'm just saying, he has not been that final piece needed in Portland to help Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum inch closer towards contending for an NBA championship. Sorry, but it's true. Portland would probably love to move out Turner's contract in order to clear cap space so they could pursue another star. Portland should have known what they were getting themselves into. Oh well. Good on Turner for setting up his financial future nicely. Number 4, Milan Lucic. That's a fun name. Looking to add muscle, veteran leadership, and a new line mate for Connor McDavid, the Edmonton Oilers handed Milan Lucic a 7-year contract worth $42 million in the 2016 offseason. Lucic has a promising first year in Edmonton, scoring 23 goals and 50 points to help the Oilers reach the postseason. But Lucic struggled big time in his second year in the oil country, scoring just 10 goals and 34 points. In the 2018-19 season, Lucic scored in the season opener, then he didn't score a single goal for the next 3 months. You heard that correctly. Just 1 goal in the first half of the season. Yeah, this is a powerful forward in his 30s, and guys who play Lucic's style tend to wear down quickly. So yeah, this looks like a really messy contract for Edmonton. If McDavid can't help his production, then why should we believe the Oilers will end up getting their money's worth with Lucic? Number 3, Dexter Fowler. The St. Louis Cardinals weren't happy about losing John Lackey and Jason Hayward to the rival Chicago Cubs in free agency a year earlier. The Cardinals then pulled a page out of the Cubs playbook and had signed away outfielder Dexter Fowler on a 5-year contract worth $82.5 million. Fowler was instrumental in helping the Cubs win the 2016 World Series, and the Cardinals needed a new leadoff man. So yeah, this looked like a huge win for St. Louis at the time. Fowler actually had a successful first season in St. Louis from an offensive standpoint, setting a career best in home runs and RBI with 18 and 64 respectively. However, he was awful defensively, posting a woeful 1.6 wins above replacement on defense. Although in 2018, Fowler's powerful bat completely vanished. Aw, so sad. He batted a horrid 180 with a terrible OPS of 576. In case you don't know baseball stats very well, that's like really bad. Like really bad. The Cubs are surely laughing at the Cardinals for signing away a player that became a huge disappointment. St. Louis has so many young outfielders they could play over Fowler, but you don't want him to become an $82.5 million bench player. They simply have to accept the consequences of overpaying for him. Number 2, Chandler Parsons. The 6'10" small forward had some success with the Houston Rockets and Dallas Mavericks, consistently averaging around 15 points and 5 assists per game. Parsons was good, but not a star-like player. The Memphis Grizzlies didn't care. In the 2016 offseason, the Grizzlies gave Parsons a 4-year contract worth $94 million, hoping he could be the final piece in helping them go deep in the postseason. But a knee injury limited Parsons to just 34 games in the 2016-17 season. He averaged a mere 6.2 points per game. In 2017 and 18, another knee injury forced Parsons to play just 36 games, and he averaged 7.9 points per contest. Not exactly inspiring. The Grizzlies should have known at the time that Parsons wasn't going to suddenly grow into a superstar. Not only that, but they should have known that he came with a red flag thanks to a history of knee injuries. Sure enough, Parsons hasn't been able to stay healthy, and when he's on the court, he hasn't produced much for the Grizzlies. It's been a disappointing tenure for Parsons in Memphis, to say the least. Number 1, Kirk Cousins. You bet your ass he's number 1. The Minnesota Vikings went 13-3 in 2017 and reached the NFC Championship game with career journeyman Case Keenum. That had the front office convinced that one mere upgrade at quarterback would help them win a Super Bowl. And so the Vikings gave Kirk Cousins a 3-year deal worth $84 million. Here's the catch. Every single penny of it was guaranteed. That's right, guaranteed. The Vikings had a clear message for the former Washington quarterback. Here's the big money, now go win us a Super Bowl. Well, the Vikings sure didn't get much out of that investment. Cousins threw for 4,298 yards and 30 touchdowns against 10 interceptions. Not terrible stats by any means, but why did the Vikings finish 8-7-1? And they missed the playoffs. It's simple. Cousins couldn't beat the good teams. The Vikings lost to the playoff-bound clubs like the Chicago Bears, New England Patriots, Seattle Seahawks, New Orleans Saints, and Los Angeles Rams. And somehow the Patriots came out victorious. Who knows? Cousins was terrible in a win-or-go-home Week 17 contest versus the Bears, who rested their starters for much of the game after clinching the division. There's no sugarcoating it. This was a bad contract. And the Vikings better hope years 2 and 3 from Cousins are way better. Otherwise, they're going to regret moving on from Keenum and somehow getting worse. All for a whopping price tag of $84 million. Fully guaranteed. What other recent free agent signings already look like mistakes? Join us in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and Total Pro Sports on social media. Go check out our profiles. Go give it a look. If you don't like it, don't follow us, but if you like it, follow us because we have great content and you should go check it out. If you like this video, give it a like. It takes one click. Smash the like button. Smash it. Smash. Do it. Please. Go do it. Right there. If this is your first time around TPS, make sure to subscribe. That's right, subscribe, because we post videos every day. Every day's a new video, so you have to go subscribe. Of course, thanks so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo, and I'll see you next time.
My knee.